Welcome to the Professor's Academy,
where learning knows no bounds and dreams take flight.
Okay, so today we have to learn about the digestion, how the digestion is going to be in the human body, right? So they involve a different type of steps. So the first step is the selection of the food, right? Obviously we should have to select that what we have to eat, right? Obviously after selecting the food, we are entering the food in our mouth, right? In our mouth there is a teeth, right? And instead of that there is a tongue and the saliva. Right? What is the purpose of the tongue? It helps in the rolling of food. Right? And saliva, it provides a watery look and help the mixing of food. And the purpose of the teeth is it's help in the chewing of food. Okay, now whatever we have entered in our mouth, with the help of these organs, the chewing process is started, right? You know, in our mouth, there is also a different type of enzymes are present. You know, in the case of the protein, there is a protease enzyme.
Yes.
For lipid, there is a lipase enzyme. Are you getting?
Yes.
Okay? Okay. Now, they explain that the digestion process is begin from the mouth because different type of enzymes are present in our mouth. So they start chewing or the digestion process is start here. My question is that if the digestion start in the mouth, then why the food is going to be digested completely in the stomach? What's the reason behind that? Why the digestion is not going to be completed in the mouth?
Because the energy is absorbed.
In the simple words, we can say that in this way what happens, that the food stay time is so low that in the mouth the food can be stay here for few seconds, right? But in the stomach the food stay for the longer duration of time. So that's why in our mouth the partial digestion is there, right? When we are going to chew the food, it will become into the simple particles, right? Because the food is grinding now with the help of the teeth. And the ball type structure is going to be made when saliva is going to be mixed with it. And with the help of our tongue, right, we are going to press it to the next part, right? What it called esophagus. It's the second part, right? It's just like a tube-like structure. It just pass the food, nothing else. And they pass the food directly into the stomach. Right? So stomach is the basic part for the digestion because in the stomach there was a different type of enzymes are going to be secreted here. When the food come here, right, it stay for 2 to 3 hours. Now, different type of enzymes are going to release here, like pepsinogen is converted into pepsin.
Yes.
In the presence of enzyme, right? So that is also helpful for the mixing of the food. Like, when we are talking about the stomach, our stomach show a continuous movement. Like they're contracting, they're relaxing, they're contracting, they're relaxing. What's the purpose? When the food is going to be shaked, it will become into the liquid soup-like structure.
Yes.
Are you getting? And when the food is entering from esophagus, right, there is a 2 opening. This opening is called pyloric sphincter, right? And what's the name of the other sphincter?
Duodenum.
Duodenum is another part. Basically, there was 2 sphincters, right? So through that sphincter, what happens? The food is entering, and from the other sphincter, the food is going to pass to the small intestine. In our stomach, HCl is going to be produced. Why? What's the reason behind that? Because if we are eating something, right, our germs can have our germs are also there in our hand. When we are eating something, there is a maximum chance that the germs are going to be entered in our body, right? So what we have to do, that if the germs are there, then in the presence of HCl, it killed. When it killed, it didn't cause infection in the body now. It passed out from the feces and it's freed out from the body. Right? One purpose is this one. Right? And then what happens after mixing? Slowly, sphincter. Sphincter is just like that. This type of muscles. Right? These are called sphincter. Slowly, it get open. Right? And the food start moving. It doesn't mean that the stomach is get empty here and then the next food will come. No. When we are eating something, the above food, it will be in a backward point now and the new food will be in the stomach.
Yes.
Are you getting? If I'm going to draw a neat diagram, I can write it here. Like, if I'm talking about, like, it's a very rough diagram. There was an esophagus and then there was a stomach. Right? If I'm going to draw it in this way, and then I'm saying that there is a liver, right? And instead of that, there is a pancreas, which is the leaf-like structure, right? And then the food is going to be entered into the small intestine. It's just like that. And then what happens in a small intestine? After digestion, food is digested here. Now the food comes here. From this point, the food is going to be absorbed, means the nutrients. They are going to be absorbed and come in the blood. This portion outside, along the body organ, there is a blood. So it's present in a higher concentration in small intestine, and we need them in the blood, so they start diffusing here.
Yes.
Are you getting? Now, what's the next part? The feces, the waste material. That didn't contain any harmful substance. And in the small intestine from the liver, they are going to produce bile juices, which is helpful for emulsification. What is emulsification? It's just like mixing. Like they make a very foamy layer or a texture, you can say, that creamy layer, that is called emulsification. Emulsification is for fat. Right? Now, pancreas is going to release pancreatic juices.
Yes.
And liver is going to produce a bile salts. Right? And after this tube, they are going to be directly fall into the small intestine. Right? Because the food is here now. In the presence of these enzymes, they work and they diffuse. And the waste material is now moving towards the large intestine. The function of the large intestine is to absorb water. Are you getting? They absorb the water and they make the soft material into the harder one. Now it will move towards the rectum. It's a temporary place where the feces is stored, and through the anus they are going out from the body. These are the steps, right? And the very important thing is, like for example, when we are going to engulf something, there is a wave which is called peristalsis. It begins from the mouth and at the anus, right?
Yes.
It's a whole process, right? Now, what is the vomiting? When, for example, to this point, due to irritation of any pathogen or something, when the food is coming to the opposite direction, it is called anti-peristalsis, or we can say that it's emesis. It's a medical terminology, right? Emesis means the vomiting, regurgitation, right? The food is coming back from the mouth. Are you getting my point? Now the thing is, obviously, that's why we are preferring that we should have to take a balanced diet. Why? What's the purpose behind that? When we are going to take a balanced diet, every nutrients, obviously, it is good for our health, right? For example, we can, if we are taking a balanced diet as well, then we can save us from a number of diseases as well, right? Okay, now the wave is getting generated. If the wave is slow due to any reason, if the wave is here now in a large intestine, so if it comes slowly, there is a proper system, right? There is a proper system that is going to absorb the water. If the wave is slow, slowly, right? Then again and again, the water is going to be absorbed from the large intestine. Then we can say that it leads to the constipation. What it called?
Constipation.
Constipation. Constipation is one of the disease, right?
Okay.
In this what happened, that the stool become hard and the person feel pain for their elimination, and even in some severe cases the blood is also coming.
Yes.
Right? Now in the other side, if I'm talking about, if the pathogen come and cross all the borders, then we can say that if it cause irritation. For example, if here is the pathogen, then they cause disturbance in the walls. So when the food come, due to these pathogens, water is not going to be absorbed. When it's not going to be absorbed, it means that it come out from the body. Like we can say that it's a watery discharge, or we can say that it's a diarrhea. What we can say that it's a diarrhea. Get it? So this is another disease, right? So to avoid this disease, what we have to do, we have to take a ORS, that's doctor recommend, which means oral rehydrating salt, because it's a property of the water that they can eliminate, they have an ability that to dissolve the salt. If we are not taking it, then the body should be in emergency condition, and we should have to face a serious, the problems, and even it can lead to the death as well. Right? So it was a little bit, you can say that the introduction about the digestive system.
Contact now at 030-150-37768 or visit us at www.theprofessoracademy.com.pk.